Hi everyone, I'm sure we're all feeling a little bit depressed and slash anxious over the election. Well, actually, not all of us, but a lot of us are, but not all of us. So I'm going to talk about what you can do because I've seen a lot of people on TikTok asking, we see a lot of our rights being taken away, and they're asking, what can we do? So I'm gonna tell you some of the things you can do to make a difference. While doing this, I'm going to be making a collage slash art piece and talking about what you can do to help make a difference during this time where a lot of things are changing. So let's get into the video. I've been very depressed due to many current world events, as I have seen many of you have been as well. Today I'm going to discuss what we can do during these times. I will be making an art piece while talking, so enjoy. I would like to start the video by saying I'm very privileged. I am a white woman, and you can't tell I'm disabled at first glance. I, of course, won't be able to know what forms of protest will work for you, so I'm going to give many options. Please comment if you have your own suggestions. If you're watching, you probably know why I'm giving tips for protesting in the first place, but it has to do with the bills Trump is passing, the job lost, the rights of LGBTQ plus being lost, the loss of environmental protections, sadly the list goes on and on. As an American, we are taught in history class or social studies class how peaceful protests make change. Like the ones Martin Luther King did, that he did it right and Malcolm X did it wrong. That might not be all schools that teach it that way, but in northern Maine, people's views are unfortunately very behind. Anyway, the thing is, neither Malcolm X or Martin Luther King was wrong. They both had the same goal, freedom and equality. They both went about their goal differently, and both ways are needed to achieve a goal. To get everyone to understand, you must use different methods, because each person absorbs information differently. For example, the first Pride was not a peaceful protest, it was a riot. And to get integral rights for disabled people, like the ADA, American Disability Act, disabled people physically crawled up the Capitol steps to show how inaccessible most buildings are. In all of these circumstances, there was many people working behind the scenes to organize events like those, and to publicize those events with art and magazines and writers. In a revolution, yes, there are protests, but there are also artists, musicians, authors, photographers, doctors, teachers, lawyers, influencers, and organizers. I'm in awe of organizers, honestly, because being able to juggle dates, location, peoples, and calls, that's crazy. Not my forte. Okay, so I finished gluing all of the clippings to the canvas.
Good job.
And I'm talking to a video, not you.
Oh, that's sorry.
Thanks though for the good job. And now I'm going to sketch out all animals are equal, but some more so. And that is from the book Animal Farm by George Orwell, and it's currently being banned at schools and libraries around the US. So I thought it was fitting. So here is the canvas. As stated by the past president, we are living in an oligarchy. I mean, it's pretty obvious because the richest people in the world were all in attendance at the inauguration for the newest president. In case you don't know what an oligarchy is, it is a few people leading the world, but only the richest of the rich do it. How do you hurt a capitalistic government? You make their pockets hurt. Tip 1. Boycott big businesses and shop local as much as possible. Don't support large corporations that are running the world. Shop local as much as possible, like farmers markets, local thrift stores, local coffee shops, etc. If possible, grow your own food. In winter, that's not really feasible, but you can at least grow indoor plants like thyme, cilantro, mint, parsley, etc. I mean, you can just really Google it, and then also buy seeds from the farmers market. If you really want to blow up the capitalist mind and values, get to know your neighbors, share your food that you grow with them, and expect nothing in return. Tip 2. Join local organizations. Google your city name and then activism or whatever specific minority you are worried about and want to support, and join as many as you can. I live in the middle of nowhere with no transportation, and I'm still part of autism groups and disability rights. Even if you can't travel or even leave the house, you can still help. I've made logos for disability rights, and that still counts as helping the cause because that's how people get to join and know about it. It's very important to get your footprint out there. So anything helps in a group. Each person does their part. Tip 3, remain educated. Get a library card. It supports your community and saves your money from going to large corporations. Some books are getting banned from libraries and schools. Try to thrift those books or get them from local bookstores. Read a mix of nonfiction and fiction because a lot of dystopian fiction is based on things that already happened. For example, Fahrenheit 451, or 451 technically, written by Ray Bradbury. He was inspired by the book burnings during the war in Germany. It is important to remember the past because those who forget it are doomed to repeat it. It is important to know your current rights as they are frequently changing due to our current president. Stay informed so you expect change and not be caught in a bad situation. The cuts in education is purposeful. Uneducated people are easier to control. If you have ever read Animal Farm, you see this by some animals being unable to read and the pigs rewrite the laws, with nobody knowing. You may think this is a stretch to compare the U.S. to Animal Farm, but according to the National Literacy Institute, 21% of adults in the U.S. are illiterate, 54% cannot read above a 6th grade level, and 45 million are functionally illiterate and read below a 5th grade level. So we are not that far off from Animal Farm by George Orwell. If you can, it would be great to help others remain well educated as well. Volunteer to help adults learn to read because it's such a huge majority that can't. Tip 4, write everything down. Things are changing rapidly. Websites are being taken down. The near TikTok ban. There's even students seeing their sources for school projects completely disappear offline. Reproductiverights.gov is currently taken down right now as I make this video, and I don't see it coming back up. That could change. I don't really know. Everything is so up in the air, though. Nothing is permanent on the internet anymore, and ever since TikTok has come back from the ban, you can get kicked off the app really easily. On January 21st the Constitution was removed from the White House website, but America was assured it would be right back. Things are disappearing left and right. This is why it's so important to write everything down physically, because that is the only way you can guarantee you have it and it won't disappear. Tip 5, make things. Creative things are one of the best ways to get the word out there. People's eyes are drawn to pretty things, but they can have a deeper meaning that goes unnoticed until they actually pay attention to it. Good examples of things to create are informational zines, clothing, music, and poems. The list could go on forever, really, because art can be made from anything. As you see, I'm making mine from article clippings and hot glue. This video could even be an example of creating things to get the word out there, because that's exactly what I'm doing right now, creating art and talking about the government. And that's exactly what I'm recommending you do, because this is a way to help and get others to see what's going on and happening as well. Tip 6, get to know your neighbors. I know socializing is hard. Trust me, I am not good at it. But the government ain't gonna protect you unless you are rich and white and cis. So this is why you have to form your own community with people around you, like-minded people. Protect one another. Start simple, lending them a shovel or sharing baked goods. Just be friendly and support each other. Times are hard financially for everyone right now, and we could all use someone in our corner. Tip 7, get out of the echo chamber. It can be easy to feel like everyone is on the same side as you in this day and age of social media. I certainly didn't expect he who shall not be named to be elected president, but here we are. I was consuming media on TikTok and YouTube curated specifically for me, so it matched my views and values. It is important to see the other side of things so you can get a full picture and not assume we're all on the same side. You think we would be on the same side of equality, but we're not. Most apps lean red anyway, so if you make a new account and follow any Republican, you will be fed a lot of their views. It won't certainly make you angry, but it will also show their demographics is mainly white, uneducated men. They make up a good percentage of the US, so you can understand how their numbers are so big. Also, by making a new account on any app or website, you can see how easy it is to get fed these ideologies. Most people now join apps when they are 13 or even younger, so you can see how easy it is for kids who haven't even finished school or been outside of their state to fall into this mentality. Yeah, it's sad, but it's good to have an understanding and a whole picture on your own accord and not take my word for it or anyone else's. You should never rely on one single person for your news because you'll never get the full picture that way. You should get your information from one source because people could just be wrong accidentally or on purpose. Tip 8. Work out if you're able. Having muscle is always important and can be really helpful in helping your community. I personally can't work out like the regular person. I have to go to physical therapy because I'm part of the disabled community. Being disabled, I know how helpful it is when someone can help you carry groceries and shovel snow. This is why I'm saying working out is important, because it is helpful to help your community and relying less on others and higher power. Working out allows you to shovel, rake, and help your neighbors, and also helps you join protest and also helps you in joining communities and local organizations like food pantries, because you do need lots of muscles for that to help carry the food shipments. Tip 10, protest safely, because protests can become dangerous and you don't want to end up in that type of situation. If you are able and willing to protest, there are ways to protest safely. Don't pick pictures of yourself. Don't post them of yourself online. And also don't post them of others because you don't want to get other people in trouble. At the protest, wear plain clothing. If things go bad, you don't want to be easily identified. Not all protests go wrong, as it is your right to peacefully protest, though police have been known to instigate violence, so they have an excuse to break up a protest. So you don't want to be an outlier and stand out. You also just want to protect your identity so people don't harass or dox you for your opinions and your rights. Wear sneakers, you are going to be standing for a while or marching, and you don't want to be uncomfortable. Wear a mask, which helps in two ways: prevents spread of diseases and protects your identity. Don't attend a protest alone. There are safety in numbers. Pick a meeting spot for before and after the protest. Be sure to bring water and snacks. You don't know how long you're going to be there for, and it is very important to stay well hydrated. Bring a first aid kit. You never know what could happen. Trips and falls or the other dangerous stuff. If you wear contacts, switch them out for glasses. This time, in case of tear gas, do not wear makeup. Tear gas clings to oil bases. Bring milk, and if possible, put it in a spray bottle to apply if exposed to tear gas. Put your phone on airplane mode so tracking services are off. Have an emergency contact written down. If you are detained, ask for if you're free to go, and if they say no, don't say anything, just ask for a lawyer. Protests don't always go badly like that, but a lot of times they do. As you remember, I said in the beginning of the video, the first Pride was literally a riot, and a lot of things can go wrong when you're protecting your rights because you're protesting for a reason. Change takes time, and it is done mostly behind the scenes. I can't stress this enough to join as many organizations as you can to help your community. Help make change happen and protect the ones around you. If you have any other tips, do this. Please leave it in the comments below. For a lot of people, this feels like the end of times. I know it does for me, when my healthcare that keeps me alive and is designed for poor disabled people may get cut. We cannot give up, though, because that is exactly what people in power want. They want to get rid of minorities, so they're more of the same. So please stay alive, stay weird. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe out there. This is not the end, and I support all of you. Bye.